The 2026 NFL Draft has wrapped up, and the Dallas Cowboys are set to make waves with their latest rookie class. Fans, where are you watching from? Join the conversation and leave your thoughts on how you think these new additions will shape our season. The Cowboys have approached this draft with a strategic mindset, heavily focusing on bolstering their defense. After last season's disappointing performance, where the defensive unit was among the worst in the league and ultimately cost us a playoff spot, this was the necessary direction to take. However, as we delve into the details, it's clear that the path for these rookies to earn a starting role by week 1 will be challenging. In our projections, it appears only one rookie is likely to make the starting lineup come that opening game, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that it's first-round pick, safety Caleb Downs. He is expected to step in as Dallas' strong safety, but his versatility allows him to also play free safety and slot cornerback if the need arises. The Cowboys' decision to prioritize defense is commendable, but it raises questions about the offensive side of the ball, especially when it comes to providing more competition at wide receiver. As we look at the projected starting offense, Dak Prescott remains at quarterback, supported by running back Javonte Williams and a strong receiving core featuring C.D. Lamb, George Pickens, and Ryan Flournoy. Tight end Jake Ferguson and an offensive line anchored by Tyler Guyton at left tackle and Tyler Smith at left guard round out a unit that remains unchanged from last season. While this stability could be beneficial, the decision not to add a wide receiver earlier in the draft was surprising. The Cowboys did select Anthony Smith from East Carolina in the 7th round, a speedy player with potential, but history shows that 7th-round picks face an uphill battle to make the roster. On the defensive side, the Cowboys have made some significant moves. Prospects like Rashawn Gary and Quinnen Williams are set to anchor the line, while Donovan Ezeiruaku is expected to start at end, barring any setbacks from his recent hip labrum surgery. If that recovery takes longer than anticipated, we might see Malachi Lawrence take the reins. At linebacker, the addition of D. Winters seems to solidify the starting role alongside DeMarvion Overshown, with Jyshawn Barham potentially rotating in. As we ponder the safety position, Malik Hooker finds himself in a precarious spot as he could be the odd man out. However, a strong offseason could very well bring him back into the starting mix. Speculation arises about a possible trade involving Hooker, so it's a situation to monitor closely as we move forward. In the slot, Jalen Thompson is projected to get the nod, while P.J. Locke is set to take over at free safety. Yet again, nothing is set in stone here. The competition is fierce, and we can expect to see some shifts as training camp unfolds. The Cowboys' decisions in this draft, especially regarding the defense, indicate a clear commitment to turning things around from last season. It's a bold strategy, but one that could pay dividends if these rookies develop quickly. Now, let's shift gears and look at our next story that continues to shape the narrative for Dallas this offseason. The 2026 NFL Draft has come and gone, and the Dallas Cowboys have once again demonstrated their adeptness at picking talent that can elevate the team. Kicking things off with the standout selections of Ohio State's safety Caleb Downs and UCF defensive end Malachi Lawrence, the Cowboys have established a strong foundation that could pay dividends in the upcoming season. As we break down the details of their picks, it's crucial to realize that these choices not only add depth, but also put several veterans on notice. So, where are you watching from, and what do you think about these picks? Let's dive into the analysis. With their first-round selections, the Cowboys added a defensive powerhouse in Caleb Downs at the 11th overall pick and bolstered their pass rush with Malachi Lawrence at 23rd. These decisions reflect a clear strategy to address both the secondary and edge rushing capabilities, areas that needed reinforcement after last season's defensive struggles. Recapping the draft, the Cowboys continued to find value across all rounds, including Jyshawn Barham from Michigan in the 3rd round, who can play both outside linebacker and defensive end, showcasing their versatility in building a multifaceted defense. In the 4th round, Dallas shifted gears by selecting their first offensive player, Drew Shelton, an offensive tackle from Penn State. At 6'5" and 313 pounds, Shelton brings agility and skills honed for his basketball background. His potential as a swing tackle could have significant repercussions for Nate Thomas, a former 7th-round pick who was active for all 17 games last season. While Thomas may not be outright cut, the reality is that his role could diminish as Shelton steps in, making him a likely candidate for less playing time. The selection of Malachi Lawrence is particularly intriguing, especially given that new defensive coordinator Christian Parker specifically wanted him. Lawrence's arrival means Donovan Ezeiruaku, who started 9 games last season and recorded solid stats, could lose his starting spot. While Ezeiruaku will still be valuable to the team, he may find himself in a rotational role rather than the starter he envisioned, all thanks to the pressure from Lawrence's impressive skill set. Caleb Downs gives the Cowboys a versatile piece in the secondary, an essential addition considering their struggles in pass coverage last year. It's worth noting that Dallas has not only added Downs, but also signed Jalen Thompson and P.J. Locke in free agency. This complete overhaul of the safety position leaves veteran Malik Hooker in a precarious position. The depth chart has thickened around him, putting his place on the roster and his starting role under threat. Hooker must step up in practice and prove he can still be a difference maker, or face the harsh reality of being cut from a team that now boasts multiple options at safety. In a strategic move that could impact the receiving core, the Cowboys rounded out their draft by selecting East Carolina wide receiver Anthony Smith. Standing tall at 6'3" and boasting impressive 4.4 speed, Smith has the potential to be a dynamic target. He broke out during his last 2 seasons with the Pirates and could push Jonathan Mingo for a roster spot. Mingo, who arrived via trade last season, has struggled to make a significant impact with only 6 receptions to his name. The competition will be fierce, and if Smith can show out in training camp, he could easily edge out Mingo for a place on the final roster. As we look at the overall picture of the Cowboys' draft strategy, it's clear they're not just looking for immediate contributors, but also for players who can develop into long-term solutions. The infusion of young talent coupled with veteran presence creates a competitive atmosphere, which is essential for any aspiring team. The draft has set the stage for a thrilling offseason, and fans should be excited about the potential changes that could unfold as these rookies vie for their places on the roster. Now, as we transition to the next segment, stay tuned for further insights into how these draft selections might shape the Cowboys' upcoming season and the implications for the team's strategy going forward. Caleb Downs is generating buzz in Dallas, and rightfully so. The Cowboys have landed a dynamic defensive back who not only brings talent, but also an undeniable leadership presence to the squad, even as a rookie. As he stepped into the star in Frisco, Texas, following his first-round selection in the 2026 NFL Draft, one fan wasted no time in making a bold comparison, saying, "I hope you're the next Ed Reed." But Downs, with a measured confidence that is as refreshing as it is promising, replied that he intends to forge his own path. It's clear that the hype surrounding him is more than just media chatter. It has become the very essence of his transition into the NFL. Now, let's dig into what makes Caleb Downs so special beyond his on-field prowess. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones shared a remarkable anecdote about Downs that speaks volumes about his character. During a recent interaction, he witnessed Downs engage with his sister authentically, devoid of any pretense. "He reminds me of Dak," Jones remarked, likening Downs to Prescott, a player whose leadership has become a cornerstone for the Cowboys. This isn't just a passing comment. It reflects the organization's vision for Downs not merely as a player, but as a linchpin in the locker room. Dallas Cowboys VP of Player Personnel, Will McClay, echoed Jones' sentiments, emphasizing the respect that Downs has already garnered from his peers. "Players know players," McClay noted, reinforcing how crucial this respect is in a team environment. The players who have faced Downs recognize his abilities, not just in terms of skill, but in his capacity to lead. That innate respect is something that cannot be fabricated. It's earned through hard work and dedication. This is a vital component for the Cowboys as they look to build a cohesive team that thrives on mutual respect and collaboration. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer is equally enthusiastic about what Downs brings to the table. He has emphasized the importance of a strong locker room dynamic, and Downs seems to fit that mold perfectly. Schottenheimer described him as someone who people are naturally drawn to, highlighting his approachable demeanor and serious attitude. With a family background steeped in military and coaching, it's no wonder that Downs possesses a level of curiosity and maturity that stands out to both coaches and teammates alike. Schottenheimer's confidence in Downs' ability to translate his leadership skills onto the football field is palpable, particularly in how he handles communication and defensive adjustments. For a rookie, taking the reins on defense is a monumental task, yet Schottenheimer believes that Downs is more than up to the challenge. He noted, "Whatever the calls are, he is driving the defense." This is not just a matter of being vocal. It's about commanding respect and executing effectively, qualities that Downs has already demonstrated at Alabama under the tutelage of Nick Saban and later at Ohio State with Jim Knowles. His adaptability speaks volumes about his intelligence and self-awareness, traits that are invaluable for the Cowboys as they navigate the complexities of the NFL. The juxtaposition of Downs' leadership with that of Dak Prescott's is significant. It's a comparison that carries weight, as Prescott's leadership has been pivotal for the Cowboys in recent years. If Downs can mirror that influence, it could spell monumental success for the franchise. The Cowboys are at a crucial juncture, and bringing in a player with Downs' caliber and character could be the catalyst they need to push for a championship. As we wrap up this segment, the excitement surrounding Caleb Downs is palpable. His path in the NFL is just beginning, but the initial impressions are incredibly promising. The fan base is eager to see how he will evolve and impact the team both on and off the field. Where are you watching from, Cowboys fans? What are your thoughts on Caleb Downs and his potential to be a transformative figure for our beloved team? Make sure to leave your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. The future is bright, and we're all in this together.